she is a super awesome mom. She has one little girl, and she was here last week selling her charms. I hope she did well. So, if you want to spend less time in your business and still have a successful business, pay attention.
Thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I'm going to try and speak up. This is the most awkward speaking space I've ever been in. So if you can't hear me, just feel like this, and I'll try and speak louder so that we can. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll make sure I speak up so you can hear me. But again, like Jennifer said, my name is Melissa Bamfo, and my company is Business Made Simple. We named Business Made Simple because that's our goal. We want to help your businesses that sometimes seem so complex be made simple so that you can be able to run them with confidence, and also because we firmly believe that life is more important than what you do from 9 to 5. And then if we can help you create better systems to run your business, you're going to delegate more confidently, you're going to be able to do more business and serve more people, and ultimately you're going to live a more fulfilled and happy life, and that's our goal. So today I wanted to talk about sales. I wanted to give you some education and then also share some experience about how you can improve your sales, because sales is really the lifeblood of any business, right? If you're not selling, you're not in business, right? What was that?
You're bothering me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You gotta have somebody. There's parts of the selling process, right? So I want to talk about 4 different parts of the sales process here. So first off, we have to collect leads. So what do leads? Lead collection. Yep. So, and this is a very small. This is a long process. We're just talking about one piece of this process right now. So obviously, you gotta have stuff that people see that tells them about your product or service, and then you gotta get leads to actually look at that, right? Once they look at that stuff that you have that tells them about what you do, you want to collect their information, okay? So lead collection is the first one. How are you collecting leads in your business? Is it through expos? Is it through networking? Is it through cold calling? Is it through buying lists? There's lots of different ways to collect leads in your business. Do you have an email opt-in or some sort of offering on your website or online where you collect leads? So collecting the leads is step number 1. Step number 2 is lead nurture. Okay? So once you get those leads, the standard in the industry, and you'll hear this differently from anyone else, and it's really hearsay as far as what's true. Oh, I'm really close to that. Hi. So the people will say you need to take 3 touches or 7 touches with somebody before they actually use your product or service. Either way, most people engage with you multiple times before they actually use your product or service. Rarely do we meet someone once and then we use them, okay? And it depends on your business. The higher price services take more engagement, right? Lower price, it's so much easier to buy the first time you engage with someone. So being able to understand that about your business is critical. The third step here, so with lead nurture, let me just say one more thing there. People need to understand and be educated on what you do and how you serve people. And so that can look different for every business. Sometimes it's a consultation. Sometimes it's a workshop. Sometimes it's a sales page or an email drip campaign. Okay, so every business, that nurturing looks different. But understanding what that is for your business is really important. So lead nurture is step number 2. Number 3 is sale. Okay, ask for the sale. At some point, we have to ask for the sale, right? And I know we talk about we don't sell in here. But I got to tell you something. If I sit down with somebody and we're talking and they say, Melissa, gosh, I really need help in my business. Am I going to sit there and not say, I have something to help with, right? I'm not going to do that. Am I going to hard sell them and call them every day until they buy my services? No. None of you ever do that. That's the wrong approach to sale. But if someone you're talking to brings up that they have a problem that your business or you personally can help them solve, you have a moral obligation to share with them what you do, okay? Don't be afraid, don't ever be afraid to do that, to share what you do with people. Do it in a good way, do it in a kind way, and do it in a way that you're offering to help them solve their problems, and it's all going to be okay. So I want to say that. We talk about not selling, but make sure you offer what you do to people. That's important. And then the fourth step is upsell or repeat sales. Okay? So once somebody buys from you, the lifeblood of any business is repeat sales, right? They purchase from us once. We want to make sure that we engage with them and we can offer them more service or work with them again. If you're having to go out and find every client over and over and over again, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. So looking at ways that you can generate repeat business or offer them an opportunity to upsell to a different level of service, that's what every business needs. Okay? So we've talked about these 4 steps. Now, what we love to do and what we do with businesses is help them look at how they're managing and tracking all these steps in their business. And we're talking specifically about sales process, but there's other parts of business, right? There's the fulfillment end of things. There's the finance part of things. There's product development. There's leadership. There's all these different areas of business that need to be managed. Today I want to just talk about sales, and I want to help you invite you to something that will help go into those other areas. But specifically about sales today, we meet with companies all the time, and we help them understand how they can manage and track that. A way that we frequently do that with people is helping them to set up some sort of a CRM. A CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager. And as you're serving customers in your business, having a way to track and manage that engagement is really critical. It's really important to know where someone is in that process of you serving them. So I want to just tell 2 quick stories about companies who came to us who had needs and how we were able to set them up with a CRM that allowed them to be able to fill those gaps in their business. The first company I want to tell you about is an IT company. Okay? They do IT management for companies, and they came to us. We did a service that we do called a workflow remodel. This service is designed to sit down and help them understand where the gaps in their business is and where things are falling through the cracks. One of several things that we identified with them was they had a big gap in their sales process. They were losing a majority of their leads because they did not have a follow-up process. They were meeting with someone, giving them, finding out what their needs were, emailing them a proposal, and then not meeting with them to follow up. So unless that person took the initiative to call them back, they were not closing that sale. They were losing 85% of their leads through not following up. I know, Chuck, you should have seen his face. He was like, and that's true. So what we did with them is we said, this is great. This is an easy problem to solve. We helped set them up on a CRM called Insightly. Insightly actually is fantastic for this because what it did was it allowed them to have one place where they could track and manage all their sales. It allowed them to be able to put in a system. So if they did meet with someone and did send out a proposal, it allowed them to track. What happens is we link that with their email. So when they send out a proposal, that proposal is automatically saved to that client's file. So they know exactly where to find it. And then it allows them to also track and manage follow-up. So they could set and schedule follow-up appointments through that to make sure that that person doesn't get off their radar. They make sure they follow up with that person. Another part of that too is being able to track notes with clients. They wanted to be able to track what the concerns or questions were with those clients. So this allows them to, in that database, be able to track that information that's specific to that client and their needs. Okay? So that was huge for them, being able to manage and track those different parts of that sales process. And then also what it did too with them was be able to allow them to project. So in Insightly, it has an ability to track opportunities. So they could say, this opportunity has this much potential as far as sales potential. This is going to be a so many $1,000 deal. And so it allows them to track that and be able to project and see how much revenue they're expecting, is how much revenue they're working on and is in the pipeline for that business. And that was really critical to them because if not, they didn't have a clue what was coming in and what was going. So being able to project that and see reports and manage and track that flow for their business was really important. Okay? The second business I want to tell you about is an RV dealership. So they sold recreational vehicles. And they came to us and they said, we are opening a new dealership and we're super excited about it, but one thing we realized we need to upgrade is our is our sales team. They said our sales team right now is keeping track of our leads on sticky notes. They're like, we don't have anywhere that we're keeping track of things. So we looked at, they said, we're thinking about getting Salesforce, but it just seems so big and bulky, and it's like $50 per user per month, which, you know, when you have multiple employees, that's a lot. So they said, we need something that's affordable, we need something that's going to be able to help us. So we led them to a CRM that's going to do all that for them. What's exciting was we actually were able to reduce the cost from $50 per user per month to about $12 per user per month, which is exciting when you're thinking about software for a bunch of people. What's also great is okay, thank you. We were also able to, a thing that was really important for them, to again, track engagement. They would meet with people who'd come in and look at an RV, and then maybe they didn't want to buy for 2 months, right? So they could be able to track that and set reminders so that a system was automatically reminding them that they needed to call Bob and Judy about the RV that they were interested in. Or let's say they're interested in a specific type of RV, and let's say there was a sale 3 months down the road. They wanted to be able to look up anyone interested in that type of RV and be able to reach out to them to let them know about that sale. So they needed a way to manage and track all of those working pieces. The other problem that they had was they have a lot. They have a lot of RVs, full of RVs. So they'd be out talking with someone and they'd learn something about that client, and they wanted to be able to record that. Well, instead of having to remember it and then run back into their desk and get into their internet, you know, and be able to add that into their system, they now have an online app where they can be able, from a tablet or from a smartphone, be able to log into that client's information and record that information from anywhere. That's power right there. Because have you ever heard the saying, the fortune's in the follow-up? It's absolutely true. So the more information you know, and the more you have a system to be able to manage and track all that follow-up for your business, the more confidently you can sell and you know, share what you do with other people. So this is just one piece of business. Sales is one piece. It's the first piece I always tell people to address. When they say, I want to take off more time and start working on my business instead of in it, I say, great, let's look at sales. Because unless you have your sales going, unless you have that sales machine going in your business, it's really hard to step away. So being able to address those sales is critical. I mentioned earlier our workshop. We're doing a workshop on Thursday, and I've got some flyers here I'll hand out. This is a free workshop. There's no cost to attend. It's a lunch workshop that we're doing. Come because we're going to be talking about, I hear you, I'm ignoring you. So we're going to talk about the other aspects of business. We're going to help you see under the hood of successful businesses and how they manage and track all these different pieces, because business is complex. And unless you have a system to manage and track and make sure things are running well, it's easy for it to get away from you and focus on one area and then another area goes, you know, downhill. So we can help show you some strategies that big businesses use and why they're successful and why they're able to grow to be able to manage all those aspects of your business. So I hope you'll take advantage of this. We only do it a few times a year. So please take advantage of this. I'll hand some out to each tables. I wish I had more time, but you know, that's how it goes. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kenny.
If there's ever a doubt about Melissa, please come see me. Because I will tell you that I have referred to Melissa over the years. And I will tell you, I've been told it's one of the best referrals I can give. I know companies who have gone to her classes and done some of her things, and their business has gone to the next level over and over and over again by implementing what she teaches. So please, if you got a chance on Thursday morning, please take advantage of Melissa's free offer there. So, with that being said, I'm going to start passing around another bucket. This bucket is for referrals. If you got a referral and you filled out a referral slip, please stick it in here. If you did not, we will also draw at least one business card, so please put a business card in here. And I will start that back here at Melissa's table.